Good evening, everyone. Please stand for the invocation. Let's bow our heads. Thank you, gracious Father, for this beautiful day you've given us, O Lord. Lord, we ask you to protect this parish, protect the ones that lead in the parish, O Father, and protect all the constituents in the parish. Father God, watch over our kids at school approaching, O Lord. Lead and direct them and guide them. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Follow me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
President report, none. Any legal counsel report?
None.
Any call for additions and deletions to the agenda? Yes, I have a deletion to the agenda from the administrative, number 1. We're gonna delete it from today's agenda.
So move.
I got a motion by Mr. Jones,
Second.
second by Mr. Robert Lathan. Roll call vote. Mr. Baker?
Aye.
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 Okay, that item is deleted from the agenda. Any guests and public comments? There's none. Administrative item number 2.
Okay, administrative item number 2, adopt the most current edition of the State Uniform Construction Code.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Baker and a second by Mr. Arnell. Discussion? If no discussion, we can vote.
We got one. Gotta be Ms. Burrell.
Addition to the Uniform Construction Code. Item 2.
Motion passes. Number 3, discuss the jurors having to write a letter to get a public records request and not getting the information requested in a timely manner.
I put that on now.
Okay,
Miss, you make the motion? Ms. Trina made the motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Arnell. Any discussion?
Yes, sir. I put this on here because it seems every time I ask for any information concerning anything about the jury, I have to do a public records request. And as a juror, I feel like if I request any information, then it should be given to me. I understand they saying, well, it takes a week to do this, and then we have to do that, and this, that, and the other. But I just feel like it's because it's me that they doing it, because this every time I ask for some information on sick leave for one of the employees. I couldn't get that. That got everything I asked for. Mr. Norton asked me to write a letter. Then this time it took me, 2 weeks to get the information I was requesting. And then I asked that the information I requested be put on the agenda, which it isn't. I think Jody got it confused with the 4-H building stuff, but I was talking about our special event requests, because they are not being done fairly. Everybody not having to do the same thing, and we need to do, and people are complaining about it, because they got sense enough to know that they are not being treated fairly. So I just really want to know
What are you saying on the special event applications?
Yeah, I requested applications for everybody that's done special events for the last 2 years. Because I wanted to see, because I was getting so many complaints, I wanted to see, is everybody jumping through the hoops to get a special event? Some folks are, some folks not. And I see a lot of activity that goes on all through the week at the 4-H building. And I wanted to know, is these people getting special event permits or they not? Nope, they not. Some of them not, because I was taking notes on it. I was investigating it. And I have found evidence in the public event permits that everybody don't have to do the same. Some people have to do like the tax stuff. Everybody don't have to be sent to the tax man. Why? Yeah, my problem, I ain't got no problem with what y'all in the past and how it got passed and what was done. The problem I have, what's good for the goose, good for the gander.
Ms. Burrell, your time's expired. Out of respect, I'll give you another 30 seconds to make your point.
Either way or the other, we gonna end up with us a nice little lawsuit if we don't mind out about these special events and these permits and doing one thing for some people and the other, not for the others. It's a problem.
Thank you. Any more discussion? If no more discussion, please vote.
No,
But
this is
it's-
discussion.
it's- we vote
Just
no.
discussion.
Oh, just a
Ain't
discussion? All right.
Next item.
Next item, number 4. Discuss public information relation officers. A motion?
Motion.
Don't need one.
Motion by Ms. Trina,
Second.
second by Mr. Clark. Discussion?
Yes, what is this?
I don't know who placed this on there.
Ms. Burrell, you did.
Public relation officers.
That's the one where you were discussing, the administrator. When a previous president, y'all made this motion back in, 2017. The previous president went and spoke to the media.
Oh, yeah, you right. I did put this on here. Okay, and it comes back to the special, when I requested for the special event permit, he did respond, because you really, by law, you have 3 days to respond. Mr. Norton responded to me and told me he was placed as the public hearing officer or public, but I went back to that particular meeting. He gave me a time in 2017, but that was in reference to speaking to the media, because during the time Mr. Rowe was speaking to the media, and they had gave Mr. Brown the authority to do that. So we put it in writing, we put it in the thing. It wasn't that you suppose we voted to do that. They can come back and vote to do that, but that was not what that meeting was about. And when you responded to me with it, I didn't even worry about it. I just had it placed on the agenda so we can talk about it. That's what that was in reference to, is speaking to the media. Like I said, if I ask for some information, I expect to get it as a police jury in which I was elected to be. I don't feel like I have to jump through hoops to get any information I need.
Miss, can I say? Wait, it's your idea.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go
my question. So, Ms. Burrell, on the discussion, public information / relation officer, you're okay with the way it's set up now? Is that what you're saying, or?
Now, my thing was, when you send these letters, you do whatever they request you to do. He knew it was by law he had to respond to me in 3 days to respond to me. He responded to me giving me what happened in 2017, saying, in other words, he's saying, they elected me to be such and such, such. What I'm telling him is that was not in reference to what he
you
sent
were
the letter to me. It was in reference to the media, the news media, and him being the representative for speaking to the news media on our behalf. It wasn't
What you initially asked for.
what I initially asked for. That's what I'm saying.
No. Number 5.
Any more discussion? Let's move on. Number 5, authorize a public hearing to receive guest and public comments regarding the intent to abandon Azalea Road off of 171 on Monday, August 19th, 2024 at 5:05 p.m.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Ross,
Second.
second by Mr. Ernell. Discussion?
Where's Xavier Road?
You should, you have.
This
guests.
is north of Dennis Bell on 171, the old highway road that goes on the hill to the left. You know where the old highway went? I think you can see a pond, you see some, right before you get to that neighborhood there on the left going north, before you get to the ballpark on the left. It's a road, go up on the hill there, and they clean off some land. It's a pond, you see it from the road. That's the road.
Okay, not the Neighborton Road you talking.
No.
Okay.
I don't think no one
Right
lives on
here?
this road. No, no one lives on this road.
That's a public hearing to receive.
Any more discussion?
Yep.
All right, let's vote. Motion passes. Item 6, authorize the sale of a property located on Liberty Lane, classified as lots 1 and 2, as listed in the attached appraisal for the sum of $158,000 to be dedicated to the jail fund, to the sheriff, and authorize the administrator to sign all necessary documents of the sale. Do I have a motion?
Motion. A motion.
Motion by Ms. Trina. I got a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Clark. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. You have the
With the last property that we sold the sheriff, I tried to tell y'all then that we was doing it illegally. And we are not doing it in the proper manner. We really not. Because we're not supposed to be giving away, selling any of the taxpayers' property. We should, it got a way that we should be doing that, and we're not following what the law said. We're not following that. And I brought it, and I brought it to y'all in writing so you can see it for yourself. But I'm gonna tell you, if we do this, y'all vote however you want, cause I'm tired of trying to defend this year. Do it however you want, but it's gonna be consequences for doing it the wrong way. We doing too much illegal stuff and getting away with it, cause you got the controlling votes. But I'm not going for it. If it's against what's supposed to be with the taxpayers, I'm not down with it, and I'm not down with this. Because the first thing, it's just amazing how this property been being appraised up way more than what it was at first when we was first trying to do this. That's a warning sign right there. And I'm just not. I'm about doing right, integrity. Not doing it because we can do it. We supposed to make the best decisions we can make for the people, y'all. We forgetting about the people. And the people are complaining about it. They complain about it, that we giving away their property. So I just want to warn y'all before you vote however you want, but it's gonna be some consequences.
Thank you, Ms. Burrell. Mr. Parker?
The only thing I see here is, says the sum of $158,000 to be dedicated to the jail fund, and then to the sheriff. To the sheriff has nothing to do with this. I don't think that should be in there.
It's,
Oh, go ahead, man.
it doesn't read right.
Right.
It should read the appraisal of sum of $158,000 to the sheriff. That means you're selling it to the sheriff. and authorize administrator to sign off property with the funds dedicated to the jail fund. It's,
It's worded wrong.
the language is not really correct. I saw that first and I said, well, why are we dedicating the funds to the sheriff? We're not, we're selling it to the sheriff. Then with the funds being dedicated to the jail fund.
Right.
You're selling it to him and then he's.
Am I right on that?
Correct.
Dedicating it to the jail fund.
We shouldn't be sending it to him.
Can, yeah, I'd like to comment on the legality. We spoke about this, I think, several months ago, and the information that was furnished by German, Ms. Burrell, it applied to municipalities. There's a different set of rules that municipalities have to do to sell real property or immovable property than the parish. So what we discussed a couple months ago, and this jury, this body's vast discretion in selling, donating, abandoning, is just different than the rules that apply to municipalities.
Well, I want to make a motion that we ask for thing from the Attorney General's office, opinion from the Attorney General's office on this matter, because with our research, and I've talked to several people that's telling me otherwise, I want to know for sure before we give away, sell anything, any more of the taxpayers' property. I would like to know if this is the proper way we should be doing it.
What's your motion?
To get an opinion from the Attorney General's office before we sell this property.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to get an opinion from the Attorney General's office. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second by Mr. Ernell. Let me know when you're ready, Jody.
While we're waiting, can I ask a question?
Sure, any discussion?
How much property do we have left up there? You know, you know how much we have left up there?
To my knowledge, we still have everything that was originally listed on the east side and the west side of the property, with the exception of what we sold to the sheriff
time.
just a couple months ago. Yes, sir.
And where's this property that's adjacent to that one? To that?
There's a map in there that'll show you exactly. It's just, it's directly southwest of the training facility. It's the two lots that are located on Liberty Lane, just before you get to Sprocket.
Okay.
That's
Before
on
you
the
get
right
to
side.
Sprocket.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's right next to that line, that big, you have a big sign that says for sale. And you have all these tracks that are listed. That's right there. That track is actually holds that map.
So we have a motion to defer until we get to an opinion from the Attorney General's office. Any more discussion? If none, let's vote. Motion failed. Now we're back to our original motion.
I think it passed.
You passed. I
Once-
passed.
Once that's
I thought it was
failed-
3-6 fail.
No, once the other motion fails, that one automatically passes.
Oh, he's saying the
There's
original
no need to
motion.
vote on the original motion. That's right?
Now how it go?
No, I
No.
think we had to vote on the original.
No, we
motion.
still
No,
have
you
to vote
vote
on
on
the
the
original.
original motion if the alternate motion fails.
Yeah.
If the alternate motion passes, then the original motion's dead. But if the alternate motion fails, then you go back to the original motion.
I don't know, I've been doing this for a little while too. But it makes no sense, since it failed, then the other motion would pass.
No, because
Okay.
because even if people didn't want the AG's opinion, that doesn't mean that they are necessarily in favor of selling the property. So, this motion could fail too. If people decide they didn't want to sell the property, this could fail too.
Okay, okay, I see. The motion was to get an AG's opinion.
The motion was to get an AG's opinion.
Okay.
That failed, so you're back to the original motion,
Okay.
which is to authorize the sale of the property to the sheriff for 158 and have the administrator sign the necessary paperwork.
Got it.
Joe, what they want?
Any more discussion on the sale of the property to the sheriff?
Ma'am,
How many no's and how many yeses?
it was, 3 yeses and the rest
Okay.
no.
3 to 6. Any more discussion on the sale of the property? If none, please vote.
I'm still gonna ask. On the US,
Motion passes. Item number 7, appoint Kirk Lee to the Bayou Pier Game and Fish Commission.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Ross. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Raines. Any discussion?
yes, from now on, I appreciate if all the jurors get to know that we got openness on different. I mean, we don't, some of us don't know that is even an opening on the back pier. What if we want to put somebody
Well,
on?
this deal been open in what, about a year? Or better?
I know, we
been
still
trying to
wanna
fill.
know. I mean,
I think that's easy enough, Mr. Norton, to send an email out of everybody that has a vacancy on all the commissions.
Yes, I can do
If
that.
we can get one.
let everybody know.
Any more?
Would you like that on, I mean, I can do it every quarter because it changes. I can do it every month. You know, it should be probably on a reoccurring basis, just to keep y'all abreast of all the changes that occur.
I think every quarter would be sufficient unless we have other,
I mean,
That
just
okay?
if the opening come up, let us all know that it's an opening.
Mr. Burrell, I was actually approached about the opening from Mr. Pearson that's on the board, and I put Mr. Lee on the board, I'm asking to. He's a property owner that owns about 1,000 acres, Mr. Kirk? That adjoins Clear Lake.
Oh, I don't want y'all to get me wrong. I have no problem with him being on the board, cause Clear Lake, I tell you, I fought for Clear Lake for some years. What I'm saying is, if it's an opening on any board, whether it's this board or another, let all the jurors know. 'Cause it might be somebody I wanna nominate to go on it. That's all I'm saying. Let's just be fair about it.
any more discussion on Kirk Lee being appointed to the board? If none, let's vote. Motion passes. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Clark,
Second.
second by Ms. Trina. All in favor?
Budget and finance, or roads, no, budget and finance.
Call the Budget and Finance Committee to order. Any additions or deletions to the agenda? Hearing none, any guests or public comments? Budget and finance items, item number 1, amend the general fund budget in the amount of $1,000 and authorize the president to sign a cooperative endeavor agreement with DeSoto Parish Bible Charity School doing business as the KCS Community Center.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Jones, a second by Ms. Trina. Any discussion?
Yes, sir. Ms. Johnson, this changing over from Southern to the Bible school, or how is this going?
Yeah.
It's going to the community center.
Okay, so, yeah, please, ma'am. Cause I've been asked questions, so I wanna know what to say. Okay, so, this the funds you asking for the foster grandparent program, or?
Okay, it's kind of tied together. The foster grandparents in the summertime when school is out, don't have, stations to go volunteer, okay, cause school is out. But we still have to work in the summertime. So the KCS is the community center that's serving as a station site, you know, somewhere for them to go and volunteer. But they can't be there without supervision. So I have to pay, well, you know, we have to pay somebody to supervise at the community center so the foster grandparents will have somewhere to go. Okay. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, so we gonna be doing this every month or every other
No,
month?
no, this just, you know, just what we was asking for to help with this summer. You know, paying, just to be honest, LaWanna Allen, she oversees the community center, cause the foster grandparents, according to our regulations, they can't be there by themselves. Like, if some kids come, the foster grandparents can't be responsible for being there with the kids by themselves. Someone has to be over the foster grandparents. I can't do that because, you know, my job is the foster grandparents. So I'm asking for the funds for the community center to pay somebody to open the community center and be responsible for when the foster grandparents and the kids, you know, are there with kids, to supervise them.
Okay, well, you might wanna consider doing it at budget time.
Well, I submitted it at budget time, but, I'm trying to
Yes,
think what
excuse me,
happened.
last meeting, we directed her to do this in this manner instead of sending it to the, what is it, Southern?
Right, yeah.
She wanted to do it in this manner from last meeting.
Yeah, I remember. Like I say, this is my district, and
Yes.
people asking me questions, and I need to know how to answer.
Well,
So may I ask a question? Why you don't want it to go through
so.
the channels of Southern? Yes, ma'am.
Well, because if we send it to Southern University,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
it has to be spent for the foster grandparents. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying? If we send it to Southern, then it'll be for the foster grandparents. Because Southern is our sponsor.
Okay.
And so, but we don't need it for the foster grandparents. We need it for the community center. Because the community center has to pay someone to open the building and be there so the foster grandparents can come and serve. Does that make sense?
Okay, so my question was, I understand what you're saying there. So in the information that you have with Southern, does it not state that someone needs to be there to supervise the foster grandparents?
Okay, if you gave us the money
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you would make your endeavor agreement with Southern University.
Okay,
And so Southern University, it would have to be something that, like for uniform. See, originally, I asked for the money to help with the lunch for the foster grandparents.
yes, ma'am.
Well, that time had passed.
Okay,
So then at that point, I was facing having to pay someone to open up the building so the foster grandparents could go over there and volunteer. So then I changed it and asked if we could give the money to the community center so we can pay supervisors to be at the building when the foster grandparents go over there to volunteer in the summer.
did you have that discussion with the individuals at Southern as well in regards to that? Are you, is that what you're saying, that you coming to us to have a discussion to us about?
I'm coming to you
No.
to, huh?
That's what I'm saying. So what I'm asking is, just making sure that there was a conversation between you and Southern that you're wanting the monies not to be paid, to be spent on the grandparents, but you're wanting the money to be paid to pay someone to supervise the grandparents. Have that discussion been discussed with your sponsor?
Southern.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
it
That's what I
hasn't.
was asking.
No, it hasn't, because, you know, if we don't have to involve them, and, you know, because they don't have anything, Southern doesn't have anything to do with the KCS Community Center. But from my standpoint as the managing project manager, I need to be able to use the KCS Community Center so the foster grandparents can make their hours for the summertime and get paid. So, you know, so it didn't involve them because the money that we needed wasn't, is for the community center and not the foster grandparents.
So does Southern give any type of funds to?
No, what happens is, the Corporation of National Community Service
Yes, ma'am.
gives the grant money to Southern.
Okay,
And then I put, you know, when the, you know, send in the paperwork to get the money from Southern, and they send the foster grandparents a check.
okay,
Okay, but for the days or the times that the schools are closed, and by Mansfield being small, we don't have a lot of places that they can go and volunteer in the summertime.
okay.
And so the community center is available, DeSoto High School is available, some of the churches are available, you know, and they have their ways of paying their people, and I can send volunteers to them.
Okay.
But the KCS Community Center don't have that. And so if I can get funds to pay people to operate the center, then that's a legal place for the foster grandparents to go and volunteer.
One thing I would possibly suggest to you, probably in the future, is that when they get ready to write the grant, that somehow those funds, possibly thinking about how to pay someone to oversee your grandparents during the summer as well.
Well, see, that's
It doesn't.
the community center doesn't have anything to do
It does
with
not.
Southern, nothing.
Okay,
The community center is an entity all by itself. And so as, I'm not coming as the foster grandparent, I'm coming as a member of the community
okay,
saying, we need some funds at our community center to pay someone
okay,
so the foster grandparents will have somewhere to go.
okay.
Anybody have anything else? Will y'all please vote now? Motion passes. Item number 2, adopt a resolution to dedicate funds in the 2025 budget for a 25% match of the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development Dam Safety Program funds for the project construction costs to repair and/or replace the Smithport Clear Lake Dam.
So move.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing no discussion, please vote now. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion second.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Road Committee.
Okay, road committee will come to order. Are there any additions and deletions to the road committee? Hearing none. Are there any guests or public comments? Yes, for the road?
Randy Rogers, I live at 173 Lee Lane, Stonewall, Louisiana. When y'all get down to number 8, where you're talking about the cooperative endeavor agreement with the town of Stonewall for a culvert on 201 Lewing Lane. Lewing Lane is a private drive that runs between Bryan David and Burford Road. The east end of that is about 12 feet wide. It's got brick columns and a wrought iron gate. So my question would be, why are y'all doing work on private property? And if you would discuss that when you get to that, that's my only comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Any other guests or public comments? Hearing none. Road items number 1, authorize taking in Martinez Lane, private drive from Delta Road approximately 1,005 feet, now Martinez Lane, into the DeSoto Parish road system. Do I have a motion? Hearing none. Particular item failed. Item number 2, discuss speed bump and deaf child sign on Red Bluff Road. Ooh,
I have a question about this.
You gotta have a motion first.
Yeah. Well, say for discussion.
Okay, got a motion by Mr. Raines, second by Mr. Parker. Any discussion? Go ahead, Mr. Ross.
Yes, sir. On this particular item, didn't we place these speed bumps down?
We placed one speed bump at the request of Mr. Fuller,
Yeah.
Yeah.
about 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay.
And since then, the homeowners that requested it have moved, and there's no longer a hazard of a deaf child living in that area. And I've had many phone calls about the speed bump just being another obstacle on that road, as it's bad enough at, and to travel down. And so what we put it there for is no longer necessary. So I would like to make a motion to remove it and not have, and plus it's on one of the biggest through roads in our parish.
And if I could, Mr. Raines, I just wanted to make sure, so the question came to our office, Mr. Raines reached out to us, asking us to remove it. Mr. Fuller asked to have another speed bump placed there at the request of somebody. I said, listen, we need to do our due diligence. We're gonna send a letter out to the constituents in that neighborhood that are requesting this. We've done that. We're waiting to get that information back. We should have it back by the regular meeting. So just, if y'all do a motion, you may want to defer it to the regular meeting so we can hear from everyone who were polled in that neighborhood that Mr. Raines.
You did poll the neighborhood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because they're the ones who originally requested it. Now, we didn't poll them the first time because the first time this happened really quick. That was, and I think y'all added that item on us at an agenda meeting, so. Correct.
Just the neighborhood, or?
The houses on the left and right.
Yeah.
Change your motion to that, Mr. Raines.
To defer?
To defer it.
To defer it to next meeting?
To the regular meeting, and we
Correct.
should have an
Till we
answer
get
for
the
y'all. Yes, sir.
info? All right. We can do that.
Okay, can I get a second on that?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Parker. Any other discussion? Please vote to defer until the next meeting.
Get it up there.
All right. Okay, motion passes. Item 3, authorize the president to sign a corporate endeavor agreement with the Sabine River Authority for 3 to 4 loads of sand, clay from the jury's inventory to make a repair to the damaged area at the corner of Highway 191 and Highway 84. Can I get a motion? Going once, going twice, and item failed. Item 4, update the parish transportation fund list.
What is this, Mr. O'Neill?
Parish transportation fund list,
Yes, this is the list that we have to turn into the state to determine how we're gonna be spending the parish transportation funds, and since y'all didn't vote to take in Martinez was one that we voted on, or y'all voted on years ago and added Martinez, Delton, there was Mrs. Burrell's, that was done one for last year. We have since started work. We've spent about $22,000 in work, because this is a budgeted item. Y'all have authorized us to do work on this, to basically engineer and come up with a plan. So it was indicated at the last meeting, Ms. Burrell wished to change the road, so we need to update this road list so we can spend those PTF roads on the road that she wants to utilize it on. So y'all have to vote on that, so, in order for us to utilize the PTF funds.
Okay.
That's why it's back before y'all. So, I mean, we've requested that road from Ms. Burrell. I think you communicated to Woodley on which ones you wanted.
Yep.
Can you speak that into the motion so that we can update the list, give us the list?
Okay, you wanna- update the list.
What's the name of the road that we asked?
Yeah, I haven't been told what the road is at this point.
Where's,
West K. John, East K. Yeah, it's a nut.
I can't remember the third, but them two was South Third, one was South Third 15, East Cape John, and, West Cape John, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I get mixed up, it's South Claude and South Third 15. That other short road, I can't.
It's 3 short roads, I know that. It's 3 real short roads. I mean, ain't too much longer than the
Need to
park
defer
lot.
it till they get the list?
okay, we're getting a motion to update the parish transportation fund list with, West K. John and East K. John.
And it's another one. I don't wanna leave them out, cause I wanna use all,
Is it in that same vicinity?
yeah, it's, all of them is on the outskirts of Grand Canyon.
Ms. Burrell, can we defer it to a regular meeting when we get those names
Yep.
from you and put it on there? Okay.
I'll make a motion. to do
Okay, motion by Mr. Raines to defer this to the next meeting. Can I get a second? I'll second it. Okay. Please vote. Okay, motion passed to defer. Item 5, authorize the E911 renaming of Butler Private Drive to Falcon Private Drive, which runs east off of Red Strong Road, only one structure on the drive.
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Raines. I'll second it.
Stonewall Frierson Road. There's a little map of it right here,
Any discussion?
somewhere in here.
We just trying to figure out
Okay.
where.
Hearing no discussion, please vote.
Stonewall Frierson's up here. This is the first road on the left. Go,
Okay, item 6, authorize the president to sign a corporate endeavor agreement and resolution for capital outlay grant and amend the budget in the amount of $2 million for matching funds.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Parker,
Second.
second by Mr. Raines. Any discussion?
Yes, sir. Can
Ms.
can
Burrell?
you-
Ma'am, this is the match money the jury has to come up with to match the $8 million we got in the HB2 fund this year from the legislature. We just have to show there's a resolution and we're dedicated the funds to, and able to start working and getting money from the state.
Okay, so where this money gonna be spent?
It's gonna be in the 5-year capital outlay list.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, hearing none, please vote. Item passes. Item 7, amend the road budget in the amount of $300,000 for emergency culvert replacement on Barnes Road.
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Raines,
We'll second that question.
okay, second by Mr. Parker for question.
Which end of Barnes Road is this covered going on?
It's on the east end, close to Highway 171. It's about, I wanna say, a couple hundred yards off of 171? Yeah. Yeah, it's really close. But there's a very deep ravine, which is about 9 feet deep, and nearly 3/4 of the road is eroded away now, so.
But why I'm asking, because part of Barnes Road is in the district I represent, and I didn't know of anything like that.
Yeah.
Why I was asking.
Sir.
That's our time.
It's on my end, Mr. Parker.
I thought it was. You don't.
Any other questions? Hearing none, please vote.
Where Barnes Road is?
Where's Barnes Road? I think it's Rob District. Motion passes. And last item, authorize the president to sign a corporate endeavor agreement with the town of Stonewall for installation of a culvert located at 201 Lewis Lane and 158 Tanner Road.
Mr. President, I put both of those on there. We could get a motion, I can explain where these are at.
Okay,
Motion for discussion?
okay, motion by Mr. Raines. I'll second it for discussion.
Take the easiest one first, which y'all have a map of it. It's the last 2 pages. The first one is showing the one on Tanner, which is at the corner of Tanner, and I can't read the name of the other street, but the homeowner actually lives on that corner of Tanner. He is asking for a culvert to be added on the street beside his house. He has the culvert, ditch is already there. He just wants the culvert put in the ditch and covered up, but he does have the culvert. The second one is off of Lewin Lane. It is not on Lewin Lane. It is where Lewin Lane meets Brian David Road. He wants a culvert replaced there. He has the culvert to put in. All we have to do is dig it up, put the new one in, and cover it up for him. That's all he wants done. It is not doing any work on a private drive, even though basically that's a driveway, if you go look at it. The younger fellow lives at the end of Lewin Lane, his parents live at the other end. There's 2 residents on that road.
Okay,
And for context, the jury has a policy where if the landowner purchases a culvert, we install it for them. In order to do this, just like we did last year in South Mansfield, we have to get permission from the municipality to do the work in their district. They're not gonna be paying for anything. It's just, this is work we do for constituents.
okay. Any other discussion?
I mean, do they take this through their council?
Yes, they have to. Yes, it's gonna go before them. Once y'all authorize it, it goes to them.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any other questions?
Trash compact site.
Okay, hearing none, please vote. Okay, motion passes. I think that was all my items.
Yes, sir.
Okay, motion to adjourn?
Second.
It's been motion and second. We are adjourned.
Solid Waste Committee, please.
Call the Solid Waste Committee to order. Is there any guest, call for any additions or deletions? Hearing none, is there any guest or public comments? Hearing none, solid waste items, number one. Authorize the transferring of $1 million from the solid waste fund to the CD at Community Bank of Louisiana to cover the new estimated cost for closure, post-closure at the landfill, and authorize the president to sign amendment number 9 of the standby trust agreement with Community Bank of Louisiana for closure, post-closure of the Mundy landfill pursuant to LDEQ requirements.
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
This is the thing we have to do, ain't it, Mr. Bates?
Yes, ma'am.
I thought so.
Did something go up?
Yeah, it's the size of your landfill keeps increasing till the price goes up every time you increase it.
It's the size of landfill, it's the economy drives all those costs. In full disclosure, this is 1/3 of the actual cost. The actual cost that we are basing this on is about, I want to say 9.4 million, or is it 9.5 million is a recommended post-closure cost for our landfill, but we are allowed within the law to break that up into payments over the respective life of the landfill. So we're doing this, we're taking a bite of that apple a little bit quicker. We're going to do it, we're going to double up on it about $1 million a year over the next 3 years.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion? Those in favor, please vote now, or just vote now. Motion passes. Discuss and take action on amending the regulations on out-of-parish permits for compactor sites to read. If you own property or live in the parish and you don't have a Louisiana license plate, you can obtain a permit at no cost. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion? Yes, sir?
I don't understand this, why we're letting people bring trash to our facility and not charging them for it. I don't care where they live. If they're using our trash facility that's costing us money to operate, and even though they do pay some taxes, but to let them go in at no cost. I've got a brother that lives in Texas. He pays $20 a year for a permit because he owns land over here and pays taxes over here. He can well afford $20 a year. Anybody that lives and owns property here and pays taxes can afford $20 a year. If you're driving a truck, it's got Texas tags on it, which seems to be a prominent tag here in Louisiana for some reason or another. If it's a company truck, then all you gotta do is use your personal vehicle to haul your trash off. There's no need for anybody to go into that facility with Texas tags that doesn't have a permit, period. I don't care who he is or what his reason is. If he lives here, then he can show he's a citizen of DeSoto Parish and owns property here, he can get a permit for $20.
Any other discussion?
Wait a minute, the permits are free for people that live in the parish, right?
Well,
They're not free?
unless you driving a vehicle with an out-of-state plate, if you want that vehicle, if you live in this parish, if you want that vehicle to be allowed to come in that compactor site, you gotta pay $20 for a permit.
Okay, but it seemed like in Mr. Park's explanation, it seemed like he said that people that live in this parish has to buy permits.
People who live in this parish and wanna drive a vehicle with an out-of-state
No,
plate.
forget about out of state. I'm not talking about out of state.
Okay,
Like
but
me,
no,
I don't have. I live in the parish. Got free property.
we get in free.
Okay. 'Cause that's
But
what
if
I'm
your,
gonna think.
but
'Cause
if
he
your
seemed like
next
he
door
said-
neighbor is driving a company truck with a Texas plate on it, he has to pay $20.
if he comes in with a truck with a Texas plate. He can drive his personal vehicle if it's registered in Louisiana at no cost.
I got you.
Okay, so he can get the trash out of his house and take it to our landfill, and he gotta pay, even though he live in the parish, on his car, he has a permit, and still has to pay $20 to use the landfill.
If his car has a out-of-state plate.
Okay, all righty.
Yeah.
I have a question. I'm just trying to get clarity, because this has come up to me. So if I have an individual, they live here, work here, bills at the address that they live at, the only difference is that they purchased that vehicle in Texas. So you're saying that individual who sleeps and lives here and works here has to get a $20 permit?
If that vehicle has an out-of-state license plate. Doesn't matter where he buys a vehicle. It matters what kind of license plate's sitting on the back of his vehicle. It can be in Arkansas, it can be Texas, it could be Mississippi or Oklahoma. It could be Alaska. If you wanna come into the compactor sites, you're gonna pay $20.
That's messed up. You
But
can't
see,
do that, man.
And the
You
reason
can't
I
do
say
that.
that is because I had
don't make
an
no sense.
individual when I was campaigning, and she stated she's
don't
a
make no
nurse
sense.
at Willis Knight. Showed me her Louisiana license.
Yeah.
She lives here, but they would not allow her to dump
Because of the license
because
plate
her
on the car.
license plate says Texas. Now
ma'am.
that I have a problem
Yeah,
with.
that's not right.
That's not right.
And we need to change that. That don't make sense, man.
I
We that kind of
but-
people?
But they live and work. She works.
Hell,
Showed me
we
her
don't- that
badge.
don't make
She
no
works
sense.
at Willis Knight. She is a nurse. She's working. She lives at this residence, but they turned her away simply because she said she had purchased her vehicle in Texas, but she moved
I think-
here.
Well,
I think if they have a-
believe the law requires you, when you move here, to register your vehicle in the state of Louisiana.
Yes, and some people
And
do,
you only
and
have so
some
long to
people
do that.
don't. But still, I don't feel like they should be penalized for that. but-
I got a question. Do we know how many permits we have now for out-of-state people that use the dumper? Is it 100 or?
Man,
We gave you that,
34 was the last count we
thir-
had for this year.
yeah, 34 of what we sold
We
this
had
year.
over 200 the first year.
Right. Yeah, 2021, we had over 200, and it's kind of gone down slowly.
So we're talking about $600 a year total,
This year?
maybe, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I think this what this boiled down to when Dwayne Mitchell was here. Got a lot of people come from Waukegan.
right, yeah, and I
Truckloads of
right, I was the one
trash
that brought that up.
coming to Logansport.
Yeah.
I get that.
So, yeah, I understand. And I think this what this kind of transpired from.
Yeah, I was the one that brought that up as well, because they have Texas license plate, but they live,
Right.
In Texas.
in Texas.
You have a property owner,
If
a
they can
renter.
prove that if they get a license plate and they show that they live, their address is in the parish or in the state or in the parish, then they should be given the opportunity to dump the trash in there. Now, I understand, because I've been fighting that for a long time, people over in that area, bringing all the trash over here, filling up our compactor sites, and getting away scot-free. That's one reason why it got changed. But now we've gone overboard with it. If someone can live in this parish and have the address and they can show that they live in this parish, and even though they got a Texas license plate, they should be able to dump their trash. They're still paying taxes here. Come on.
Well, this is what the motion states there, no cost. Get a permit.
Yeah, the only thing that this will do is, if you can prove you live here, if you can prove you are a homeowner, or if you're renting property here, you don't have to pay for the permit. You still have to get the permit because your truck might be out of state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, the current policy
So
is,
you give them a free.
current policy is, they have to pay $20 if they, if they're a renter, if they're a property owner. If they don't live here and they live in Texas, they have to pay $180, which is prorated. If someone comes, in February or March, it's prorated. We don't charge them the whole $180. So, I mean, that's the policy y'all adopted in 2001, April of 2001.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Please vote now. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. At the end of the story.
No, we have a special meeting.
Special meeting called to order. We're just gonna move right on down to the new business. Well, any guests and public comments on the, special meeting? In addition, deletions to the special meeting? None. New business, authorize the president to sign the corp endeavoring agreement and resolution for capital outlay grant and amend the budget in the amount of $2 million for matching funds.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Clark,
Second.
second by Mr. Jones. Discussion? There's no discussion, please vote. Now,
Let's get these roads fixed.
have one remaining.
You ain't pushed the button.
Still have one remaining.
I hope it ain't me, man.
Me, I pushed the button. I was the first one.
And the motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mrs. Trina, second by Mr. Jones. All in favor, aye for adjournment. We'll adjourn. Have a blessed and great night.
Y'all had an hour, 5-minute meeting. Community committee meeting, man.
All right, press. They say if I take 4 minutes, that I-
Great day.
What's that?